Thank you guys so much. Hello, I'm so psyched to be in Montreal. It's one of my favorite cities, and I'm not even just saying that. I wish I could just say a perfect thing. I've never just said a perfect thing. I've really only had 2 times in my life where I've heard someone say a perfect thing. 2 times where I've heard someone say something where I'm like, oh my God, you nailed that. Now, I grew up in New Jersey in a neighborhood called Down the Hill. It was the tough part of town. I want to be very clear. I am not claiming that I am tough. I know that I look like a grown-up version of Calvin from Calvin and Hobbes. I am aware of it, I understand. But I did take the Down the Hill boys bus home from school. This was the bus with all the guys who grew up on the wrong side of the tracks in my hometown. Now, crazy things happen on this bus every day. One day I get on the bus, and I'm immediately hit with a whole bunch of ice cubes. And I dive into a seat, I turn around, I realize what's happening is a few guys have gone to the supermarket and went to the freezer and got the 5-pound bags of ice you get to fill a cooler or whatever. And every time someone new gets on the bus, they're just whipping ice at them. So I'm mad I got hit, but very quickly I'm like, ooh, who's the next son of a bitch? You know, it was really fun. We're picking ice up off the ground, throwing it at each other, total chaos, screaming, yelling. We had not even left the school yet. The driver was on the bus just sitting there the whole time, pretending it wasn't happening. He kept his mouth shut. He understood that down the hill in West Orange, New Jersey, snitches get stitches, brah. He kept his mouth shut. And eventually he started driving as if none of this was happening. And when we got off school grounds, it went from all of us on the bus being in an ice fight against each other to everyone on the bus teaming up in an ice fight against the entire town of West Orange, New Jersey. Every window on the bus came down, every car that came by, ice. Every storefront window, ice. It was like, oh, you think you're jogging? No, today, miss, you are fleeing ice. That's what you're actually doing. And eventually we hit a red light. The red light was next to a bus stop that had one of those glass bus shelter things with a bench on it, and there were all these people sitting there. And as you can imagine, it was just like a tidal wave of ice goes at this thing. And everybody on the bench did what we would all do. They got up, they went on the other side of the glass thing so the ice would hit that, and they waited for the light to turn green so we would go away. They all did that except for one guy. He was an older guy, probably early 60s. He was wearing a really nice suit, and he just stood up and stared us down. Ice hit him in the legs, he didn't care. Chest, he never blinked. And then one piece flew through the sky and hit him in the head, and he kind of shook. And when he looked back up, something was different. Could just feel it. Light turns green, we pull away, go back to throwing ice at each other, at cars, business as usual, until I hear somebody in the back of the bus shout the words, "That man, he's chasing us." And we all turn around to see that not even on the sidewalks, on the yellow line in the middle of the road, this old man is running after our bus. Now, we erupted in cheers. We were teenage boys. We were so psyched that we had caused this. One kid took a whole bag of ice and shook it out the window, hoping to create a Home Alone-style booby trap to get the guy. The guy dodged all of it, though. He had footwork, man. Now, we were in a moving vehicle. He was an old man, so we could outpace him. So we'd go over a hill and be like, cool, we lost him. Then we'd hit a red light, and over the horizon, here he comes. The guy would not quit. He eventually caught up to the bus. He starts hitting the door. He's going, open it. You open it right now. Driver ignores him. He wants no part of it. Old man does not miss a beat. He takes his hands and goes, ksh, ksh, and opens the bus door with his hands, which we didn't know was possible. So he gets on the bus. He's breathing heavy because he's been running for a while, but it's clear he's about to speak. And he proceeds to say one of the 2 perfect things I have ever heard. What he said was, which one of y'all wants to get off this bus and fight me like a man? And we were all did not see that coming. And we burst out laughing. We loved it. He didn't care. Louder, he goes, which one of y'all wants to get off this bus and fight me like a man? And then we went silent because we were like, oh, this question is not hypothetical. So then we're looking around well, who's gonna, does anybody want? And right then, this kid Dave stood up and he said the second perfect thing I've ever heard, which was, Dad, please get off the bus. Thank you guys so much. My name's Gethard. Have a great night.